Welcome to the first episode of the 10th season of 20SomethingsTV, the show for 20-somethings by 20-somethings. It's just like Kids Bop. We're a bunch of overworked, stressed out youths in a high-stakes performance environment. I'm Justin, and with me is John, Kaylee, and Lainey. And today we are going to talk about the passing of a Broadway icon, one of TikTok's biggest losses in recent years, and quite possibly the greatest theme park announcement of all time. Starting off, we had the passing of Chita Rivera about a week ago. I don't know about you guys, but being the theater dork that I am, this was probably one of the biggest losses that we've ever had in the community. She was just so wise and so motivational. Everything she said could be a quote. Speaking of, I brought a clip with me just to show you how powerful her words are.
I always used to think that we should have two lifetimes. One to try it out, and the second one to know what's coming.
Like, come on, you can't, like, you can't step on that. But other than that, she is responsible for originating some of the most iconic Broadway characters of all time. Anita in West Side Story, Roxy Hart in Chicago. I was wondering if you guys were familiar with her work before she passed, or if you guys were starting to get into her after she passed.
I actually, even though I am a ex-theater kid, I actually did not know who Chita Rivera was, like her name really. I knew who she was in the characters, but I didn't really know who she was like as a, as an actress. So when I found that out, I was very sad.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know who she was. I'm not really a big theater kid, but I like doing research for the show on her. Her life was really amazing, and the things that she did. She was a two-time or a three-time Tony winner. She was a three-time Tony winner, and she's done so much in the way of representation for women and people of color in theater. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know too much of her work. I'm not the biggest theater nerd. You know, I was in theater in high school, but I didn't really watch too much. But I will say this. A lot of actors start as servers. Well, she ended as a server, so.
Yeah. Oh, wait, really?
No, because she served.
You're right.
Wow, I walked right into that one. Well, next up, we are going to talk about probably one of the biggest blows to TikTok in recent memory. Universal Music Group is pulling all of its music from a bunch of artists off of the platform. There's hundreds at least, but just off of the ones that I wrote down, some of my favorites at least, you're not going to be able to use any Beatles music, no Elton John music, no SZA, no Rihanna, no Weeknd, and mainly because they just can't reach a new licensing deal. And like it just gets me thinking, like, without, like, do artists need to be compensated for a TikTok video, like for a 30-second or so, like?
Yeah, I absolutely think that they should be compensated. I mean, there's humongous artists that are very important on TikTok that are actually getting a lot of their fame from it. So, for example, Noah Kahan actually talked about how his music is going to be, pulled from TikTok, and it's not great because he got a lot of his following, a lot of his fan base is from TikTok. A lot of his clips that he used, like even Hozier used a lot of clips on TikTok to release his album. So this is a humongous blow for a lot of artists.
True, but these are some of the biggest artists in the world. Like Taylor Swift even was on the list, and like
yes,
if you are already making that much money, yes, you should absolutely have rights to your music. But I feel like the concern in this sense is not really in the artist's best interest. It's in the company's best interest. It's not for the artist. And I feel like this is something, especially as film majors, something that we see happen a lot, like when it comes to artists' rights and protection, because a lot of that gets given to the companies that you sell your artistic property to.
But at the same time, if TikTok is becoming this humongous sensation, shouldn't they be giving and compensating those artists that have basically given them a lot of this platform? Because a lot of the sounds that we use or a lot of things that Justin quotes are from TikTok. So wouldn't we want to compensate as many of the artists as they can? Because they've been giving this money. Like all this money is going towards them. I mean, I think it's a huge blow, but at the same time, might as well get that bag.
I think you absolutely should be compensating the artists. Like that's not at all what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I mean that a lot of these artists are not people that don't already have their music out there.
True, yes.
And the big blow in that sense is coming from the smaller artists that are just being signed with UMG. So the blow isn't with Taylor Swift, it isn't with SZA, it isn't with the Beatles.
It's with the new guys.
It's with the newer people that have just been signed because they're not even being given a chance.
Exactly.
Especially when UMG pushes so much for all of their artists to be active on social media.
What do you think, John?
I think both companies are acting immature. Are any of you children of divorce?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I think we have a full panel of divorced kids here. So, not ourselves are divorced, but
Don't speak for yourself.
I think that both of them are handling it very immaturely. TikTok comes out and says UMG is greedy for wanting to pay creators who make music, and UMG is saying, well, they don't want to pay creators at all, and they want to just go off of promo, and I think both companies are wrong, and I've never been a big promoter of corporate America, huge companies. I think they're both in the wrong. I think they should come to a compromise, but all I know is that you can't substitute payment for promo or vice versa. I think TikTok's outdated method of thinking that, the promo is basically payment itself is wrong, because in the future, if someone pulls out like UMG, then, where's that promo going? You have a bunch of silent videos, and vice versa. If you don't have any promotion, should you still be getting paid for putting out quality work?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
There's
true.
no sense of promotion anymore with this, which is a whole other issue. No, like both
Absolutely.
companies are absolutely in the wrong in the sense it is like a child of divorce sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
I
mom's
didn't
saying
really-
one thing, dad's saying another. They're trying to get you to go in two different directions. You're being asked to choose.
It's like instead of the custody being split 50-50, it's one of them's trying to have a power move in court. So
They're both trying to get full
Exactly.
custody.
Like they both want full custody.
Exactly.
Well, Universal might not be seen favorably in the music world right now, but it is being praised right now for Universal Studio Orlando's new announcement for their new theme park, Universal's Epic Universe. This thing looks insane. Even though there's multiple famous properties attached to the park already, for me at least, I think the coolest thing that they're doing is they're making a whole futuristic style park. I brought another clip with me to show you guys.
Universal Epic Universe is comprised of 5 incredibly themed worlds.
Into Celestial Park.
It's where we put the park back into theme park.
It has beautiful landscaping, incredible water features, amazing dining experiences, fantastic shopping opportunities, and 3 spectacular attractions.
See, for me, a theme park should always put focus on the park itself, rather, because with Disney World, at least for me, I've noticed in the last few years, they've been putting all of their eggs into the rides, and it shows because the quality of the park is just plummeted from the removal of Fast Pass and the inclusion of Genie. But none of that. Just the fact that we're getting a whole futuristic style park in that. But other than that, there are other themed worlds coming to this park too. I don't know what you guys are excited
Train
for.
Your
but-
Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon is getting a park. Yes. It's called Isle of Berk. I am beyond excited for this. How to Train Your Dragon is one of the best movies. I will not debate that. One of the best
So
movies.
good. So good.
So amazing.
So good.
Incredible voice acting, amazing animation. It holds up all of these years.
And I can't-
Fantastic
yeah.
score. Beautiful.
And I can't believe that it's taken so long for us to get some representation in the theme park space. For me, at least, even though it's already come to Japan, and I think it's open in LA right now, but the Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, it is open in LA.
I have been nothing but a Mario kid since like growing up, and really what did it for me, because I'm also excited. They're also adding an area based on the classic monsters. So Dracula, Frankenstein. I love that stuff too. But the thing that pushed it for me was that Donkey Kong is coming to Super Nintendo World. And I love Donkey Kong.
Can we talk about the old monsters for a bit? Like they talked about like Dracula, and there was a few other monsters that are going to be included. But however, I'm thinking about more like the target audience. This new theme park is kind of supposed to target younger kids that are supposed to be going there like with their moms and with like their with their parents. But now I'm thinking if they're doing more older style like monsters, is that catering towards now our generation? Is this a good point or is this a bad point?
Well, they actually, in the video, they showed that they've reimagined the way that the monsters look to appeal to the wider audience of park goers. And I think that that's either going to go really well for people who like the park, but really badly for people who like the movies and don't want to see their favorite characters get tarnished.
Can we talk about the Celestial World as well?
I mean, yes. I think it is just a beautiful addition to an already pretty decent park. I'm a big Coney Island fan, and like I'm a big fan of like the history, and they always emphasize like park over rides, like space over content. But yeah, that is going to do it for us on this segment. Coming up, one of our classic advice segments featuring two new 20-somethings. Stick around.